Welcome to the AI Market Brief, your weekly AI news update across AI's finance, policy, and technology advancements. This week, OpenAI's new ChatGPT agent jumped from drafting emails to executing them, signaling the dawn of truly autonomous workflows. At the same time, venture cash exploded. $162.8 billion poured into AI startups in H1, a 7,676% surge. From Pentagon mega contracts to Authors Guild lawsuits, we'll unpack how power, money, and regulation collide in real time.
Yeah, distill it down to what really matters. We'll be looking at how these AI systems are getting way more autonomous, the incredible amount of money continuing to flow into the sector. It's kind of staggering.
And the legal stuff is heating up, right? The regulations trying to catch up.
Oh, definitely. And what all these big shifts might mean for you day to day in your work, your life. And we'll cover big trends emerging in enterprise AI ROI.
Oh, okay. Let's kick off with what feels like the biggest headline, a continuation of AI moving beyond just, finding information or writing text to actually doing things for you.
The agentic era.
Exactly. And we saw major agent releases this past week. OpenAI launched something on July 17th called ChatGPT Agent. And this isn't just like drafting an email for you, it's the AI sending it. It's scheduling the follow-up meeting, putting in the calendar, and even reading emails to detect if a meeting should be scheduled, that kind of thing.
Right. What's really fascinating here is how it signals this strategic pivot. They're moving from just conversational AI chatbots towards what we're calling agentic flows. Right. These are systems that can actually string together multiple actions, make decisions along the way, learn from feedback, all to achieve some goal without you holding its hand the whole time.
Which immediately brings up that big question.
How much control are we actually comfortable giving up, to these new digital coworkers almost?
That's the perfect way to put it. Because ChatGPT Agent, it can browse the web, it can write code, it can schedule things, connect to your Gmail, your GitHub.
Common tools.
Yeah. It's built to automate these sometimes quite complex workflows from start to finish. So don't just ask for a travel plan.
No, it does the plan. It finds the flights, books them, puts them in your calendar, maybe even checks you in later autonomously.
And OpenAI isn't alone here, right? This is a trend.
Not at all. Look at Anthropic's Claude. It now integrates with design tools, specifically Canva, using their Model Context Protocol, MCP.
MCP that we talked about a few weeks ago, right?
Yep, this isn't just a simple API call. MCP lets Claude understand and actually manipulate the design elements inside Canva. You can literally chat with Claude to generate or tweak a design.
Wow. So it's embedding AI right into the creative process.
Exactly, blurring the lines completely. Is it a chatbot? Is it a design tool? It's both.
We also saw Perplexity and its Comet browser pushing towards, I think they called it hands-free internet, offloading complex web tasks to AI assistants.
Yeah. Imagine your browser not just fetching pages, but like you said, planning, booking, executing whole sequences of actions online for you.
And for businesses, Amazon Web Services, AWS, launched Agent Core, a platform specifically for enterprises to build and deploy their own tailored AI agents.
Accelerating automation at scale. Big deal for enterprise.
Even Microsoft Copilot got this vision update. It can now basically see your whole desktop screen.
Giving it context.
Exactly. So it can offer help that's actually relevant to what you're doing right now, suggest next steps, link apps together, becoming much more proactive.
And don't forget on device AI. Samsung's putting AI for things like writing assist, generative image editing right into its One UI 8 mobile interface. It's becoming baked in everywhere.
So, okay, pulling these major agent moves together, what's the big takeaway for the listener?
Okay.
AI is morphing from a really smart calculator or search engine into, well, an assistant that can actually do stuff on your to-do list.
A true agent to Copilot.
The productivity boost could be huge for individuals, for companies. But OpenAI themselves flagged this. It opens up a whole new risk surface.
Absolutely. Security is a major concern. Think about an agent misinterpreting something and making a wrong financial transaction. My buddy used an early stage agent a few months back, and it ordered 10 pounds of potatoes and sent them to the wrong address.
That's an unexpectedly funny example of a hallucination. But there is a risk to an agent accidentally sharing sensitive data because it didn't understand the context correctly.
The potential impact of one mistake gets amplified massively when the AI is acting autonomously.
So, this leap into doing things, it means we all need to be really aware of the power, yes, but also the safeguards that have to be included with implementations.
It's happening now.
Okay, so from AI doing things, let's talk about the fuel making it all possible. Yeah, the money, because the investment porting into AI right now is, well, it's unprecedented.
It's really wild. We talked about this in detail last week, but these numbers are something. The US startup funding jumped, what was it? 7,676%.
To $162.8 billion just in the first half of 2025.
And putting it in context, there are major dots to connect here. Investors, for the most part, aren't throwing money around vaguely like, say, the early dot-com days. They see AI as the next massive platform shift. Think internet, think mobile, but maybe even faster, more fundamental. And unlike some past bubbles, we're seeing real products, real user traction almost immediately.
Good point. And the numbers show that focus. In that first half of 2025, nearly two-thirds, 64%, of all the startup funding money went specifically to AI companies.
Just think about that proportion. It's dominant.
Consider Thinking Machines Lab, founded by Mira Murati, OpenAI CTO.
Huge name.
They raised $2 billion seed funding before they even have a product valued at $12 billion already.
And get this, nearly two-thirds of their team also ex-OpenAI. That's a serious talent and capital concentration.
Then you've got Anthropic. Rumors are swirling about them hitting a $100 billion valuation.
That's astronomical territory.
Context: Perplexity AI, which we mentioned earlier, got another $100 million extension that puts their valuation at $18 billion. And they have, 30 million users already?
Yeah, real usage. And reports that Apple might be looking at buying them. That adds another layer of intrigue.
And it's not just the giants or the conversational AI players. Hadrian, they're building AI-driven factories for defense manufacturing. Raised $260 million Series C.
Applying AI to heavy industry.
And Lovable, we covered in the briefs over the last few weeks, is a European startup for building generative apps. They hit unicorn status, a $1 billion valuation with a $200 million Series A. They're only 8 months old.
8 months and 2.3 million users already. That kind of speed is just wow.
It really feels like an AI gold rush.
It does. But unlike some gold rushes, there are real, tangible projects being built alongside these massive financial bets. The investment scale and the user growth happening at the same time, it suggests something more substantial than just hype is driving this. Investors are clearly seeing or strongly anticipating significant returns very quick.
So, yeah, massive investment, AI, getting more autonomous. Let's ground this a bit. How is this actually showing up in the real world? Customer service is a great example, right? Something we've all dealt with.
Oh yeah, that hold music. Or the chatbot that just doesn't quite get it.
Exactly. Well, companies are now deploying generative AI extensively in call centers trying to automate support. It's happening at scale.
And the numbers are compelling from their perspective, at least.
Get this stat. Microsoft apparently saved over $500 million, $500 million, in just 1 year by using AI across its customer support operations.
While maintaining customer satisfaction, they claim.
That's the claim. And Amazon reported something like a 10% efficiency improvement in their logistics and support using AI.
So, how does it actually work? What's the AI doing?
Well, typically AI models are listening and transcribing calls, analyzing the customer's query in real time.
Using natural language understanding to figure out what's needed.
Right. Then they can either provide answers directly, maybe through a more advanced chatbot, or they assist the human agent, suggesting responses, finding relevant info from knowledge bases instantly.
It's all for this hybrid model, isn't it? The AI handles the simple routine stuff, password resets, order status.
Yeah, the frequently asked questions.
And then it's supposed to seamlessly hand off the complex, nuanced, or maybe emotionally charged issues to a human, with all the context gathered so far.
Supposed to, keyword there.
Supposed to. Well, yes, and this raises that core question again. The cost savings and efficiency gains for the company are obvious, but what's the trade-off for the customer? Are we actually getting better service?
Because the projections are wild. Some say AI is expected to handle something like 95% of all customer interactions by 2025. That's soon.
It is, and the potential benefits are clear, right? 24/7 availability, instant responses sometimes, massive scalability for businesses.
Consistency, too. The AI always follows the script, the policy, and it learns. It improves over time. It can even proactively offer help sometimes.
True. But the downsides are also very real. AI still struggles with genuine empathy, complex reasoning, understanding sarcasm, or, deep frustration.
The hallucinations problem, too. AI confidently giving you the wrong answer. That's incredibly frustrating.
It really is. It can feel like this uncanny valley of customer service, almost helpful, but not quite, which can be worse than just admitting it doesn't know.
And we've seen reports, wasn't it something like 70% of companies that rush chatbot rollouts found they failed for complex tasks?
Yeah. Yeah. The technology isn't magic. Implementation matters. And then there's the job displacement concern for employees, of course. That's a big factor.
So, yeah, faster help is nice in theory, but it feels like AI really has to earn our trust in these interactions. Would you rather deal with a bot first, or do you still prefer that human touch for anything tricky?
It depends on the issue, I suppose, but for anything complex, I think most people still want a person.
Okay. So, we've seen AI in customer service, the potential, the pitfalls. Now, let's zoom out again to the broader business world because there is a well documented trend emerging, the great AI ROI divide.
Yeah, this is important. Basically, some companies are absolutely crushing it with AI, getting huge returns.
Well, others are, well, struggling big time.
Exactly. Projects stuck in pilot mode, never deployed. Not even recouping the initial investment. It's a real split.
And this raises an introspective question, doesn't it? If you're thinking about implementing AI in your organization, what can you learn from this divide? How do you make sure you end up on the winning side?
Because the difference is extreme, these outcomes are on polar ends of the spectrum. Look at the high achievers the companies considered mature in their AI adoption. 95% of them report high satisfaction, and 3/4 of the high achievers say their returns are actually exceeding their expectations.
That's huge and it's widespread.
Pretty much. 74% of all enterprises using generative AI are seeing some return already. And among those seeing returns, nearly half, 45%, estimate their employee productivity has at least doubled.
Doubled. Wow, okay. And strategy matters.
It's pivotal. Organizations with a formal, thought-out AI strategy, they're twice as likely to see actual revenue growth from it.
Okay, so that's the sunny side. What about the end of the spectrum? The ones struggling?
Well, the numbers aren't pretty. Forrester estimates up to 85% of AI projects failed to deliver what they promised or just never get rolled out.
85% failure rate. That's sobering.
It is, and nearly half, 49%, say they can't even properly estimate the ROI they're getting or not getting. They just don't have the metric.
And some are actually losing money?
14% report negative returns from their AI investments. And for those still waiting for ROI, over half, 56%, don't expect to see it for another 1 to 2 years.
But the average return isn't great then.
The average ROI across all enterprise AI initiatives is currently estimated at just 5.9%, a big gap from those high achievers.
So what makes the difference? Why the divide?
It's not random. It comes down to some fundamental factors. First, AI maturity. Like we said, companies that go beyond just experimenting, that truly integrate AI as a core capability, they do exponentially better.
Makes sense. What else?
Strategic alignment and C-suite sponsorship. Basically, does the boss believe in it? Our sources show 47% of the successful AI projects had direct C-suite involvement, compared to only 24% for the less successful ones. It needs that top-down push.
And data. I always highlight that. Data is key.
Absolutely critical. 85% of leaders cite data readiness as their single biggest challenge. Getting the data right, cleaning it, making it accessible, that can eat up 80% of the actual project work. Garbage in, garbage out still applies.
So if your data house isn't in order, AI won't fix it.
Pretty much. And finally, clear metrics and goals. The winners define specific use cases, specific problems they want AI to solve, and they set clear KPIs from the start. They know what success looks like.
So the takeaway seems to be it's not just about buying the tech. It's about strategy, leadership, data foundations, and clear goals.
Exactly. It's a foundational change, not just adding a tool. That seems to be the core difference between the haves and have-nots in AI ROI right now.
Right. This week also saw some really big strategic moves in the market and significant action on the regulation front. It feels like the whole AI landscape is being reshaped.
Yeah, the pace of these bigger power plays is just as fast as the tech development itself. You have massive investments, government involvement, acquisitions, legal battles. It's all happening at once.
On one hand, all this corporate and government spending could mean faster, cheaper AI for us, right? For consumers.
Potentially, yes. More competition, more resources poured in can accelerate things. But on the other hand, you see this rapid consolidation, these big players making strategic moves. It definitely raises questions about competition down the line. Who ends up controlling this incredibly powerful technology?
Good point. Let's look at some specifics from the week. The Pentagon, they earmarked up to $800 million for what they're calling frontier AI projects.
And they awarded potential contracts, $200 million each if fully realized, to OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and xAI.
So the government is clearly placing big bets, securing access to the top models.
Definitely a strategic move. And then there was that AI Investment Summit in Pennsylvania. You had Google, Meta, Blackstone, CoreWeave, big names, pledging over $90 billion collectively for AI infrastructure.
$90 billion for the plumbing, essentially. The data centers, the chips.
Shows the sheer scale of the build-out needed to power all this AI.
Meta also confirmed they bought Play AI. That's a voice AI startup.
Yeah, reportedly, the boost their AI characters maybe integrate into wearables like smart glasses, a clear product integration play.
OpenAI launched a $50 million fund for nonprofits for AI for good projects.
Interesting move. Part philanthropy, part maybe shaping the narrative around AI's benefits.
You know, politically, NVIDIA started selling its modified H2O AI chips to China again, navigating those complex export controls.
Always a tricky balance there.
And in the business software world, Zendesk bought HyperArk. That's about adding generative AI analytics into their customer support tools.
Makes sense, bolstering their core product with AI.
And finally, Apple. Shareholders are apparently putting pressure on them to make a big AI acquisition because their market cap dropped. And Bloomberg reported they're in talks to potentially buy Perplexity AI.
For around $30 billion, that would be a massive acquisition if it happens. Shows the pressure even Apple feels to make a big AI statement.
Okay, so that's the market side. What about the legal and policy front.
There is now a copyright class action lawsuit, that Authors Guild lawsuit against Anthropic. Yeah, a U.S. judge just allowed it to proceed as a class action.
Right. This is about whether Anthropic used copyrighted books without permission to train Claude.
Exactly, and it's a landmark case. If the authors win, it could have multi-billion-dollar implications and fundamentally change how companies source and license training data for these large models. Big deal.
Meanwhile, in Europe, the EU pushed forward with its voluntary AI code of practice, sort of guidelines for now.
And Microsoft agreed to sign on, signaling they're ready to play by emerging rules. But Meta refused. Meta cited legal uncertainty, basically saying the rules aren't clear enough yet. Highlights that tension between wanting standards and wanting flexibility.
The UN also jumped in, calling for international standards to detect and watermark AI-generated media, deepfakes, basically.
Yeah, focusing on election security, fraud prevention, acknowledging the global challenge there.
So, summing up this section, the legal and regulatory landscape is heating up fast. It's a constant reminder that as AI gets more powerful, figuring out the rules, ethical, legal, is the next massive challenge.
Absolutely. Regulators globally are really scrambling to keep pace with the technology's deployment. It's this constant dynamic interplay between innovation and oversight.
What a week. I mean, really, from AI agents starting to do our tasks to the absolutely massive flow of money,
There's billions pouring in.
legal battles heating up, the policy debates. It's just clear the whole AI landscape is shifting incredibly fast.
Yeah. If you zoom out, AI isn't some far-off future tech anymore. It's here. It's evolving at breakneck speed, and the impact is spreading everywhere into every sector. It's fundamentally changing how we work, how we interact with technology.
So here's something to think about as we wrap up. With generative AI moving this fast, what development we talked about today, or maybe something else you've seen, makes you most excited? Or perhaps most anxious?
Yeah. What's on your mind?
And how do you see these rapid changes actually affecting your own life or work in the coming weeks or months? Definitely something to mull over.
And looking ahead, major earnings reports are due from Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta. The markets will be scrutinizing their AI spending and looking for that ROI we discussed.
And the EU AI Act enters a new phase, right? Some compliance guidelines start kicking in.
Yep, the regulatory wheels keep turning. It's bound to be another packed week.
No doubt about it. That wraps today's AI Market Brief. If the Pentagon's $2 billion autonomy push and the Authors Guild's landmark AI copyright lawsuit caught your ear, be sure to hit follow, share the show, and subscribe to our newsletter for weekly data-driven insights delivered straight to you. I'm Caitlin.
And I'm James. Catch you next time.